Oh no! I think something is causing Mike Lindell to lose sleep at night. What could it be? A flat pillow? A pee under his mattress? Maybe a defamation lawsuit for spreading misinformation about foul play in the 2020 presidential election? Who can say? What we can do is check out his viral deposition footage and react. Me as America's attorney, and you as an enthusiast of crazy people caught on camera. Let's get started.
Tell us your full name, please.
Michael James Lindell.
Well, good morning, Mr. Lindell. My name is Charlie Kane. We met for the first time about...
Who's paying you? What was the question?
We met for the first time...
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, he's already doing this wrong. One of the things that Lindell's lawyers told him before the deposition started is wait until the question has been fully asked, take a breath, and then answer. And he has not been doing that. And this idea that he's gonna ask who's paying you, that you don't get to ask questions when you're the witness? Oh, this is not a good sign.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start slow because the court reporter's trying to take down what you're saying, okay?
Don't sit and scold me already, mister. I'll do whatever I have to do.
What?
So you're just a lawyer. You're an ambulance chasing lawyer. So don't start with me. I got all day. I'll take as much time as you want. So let's go.
What?
You're not my boss. You're just a lawyer, frivolous lawyer. So go. Don't start scolding me.
Okay, I am not sure what just happened. So the lawyer gave him some basic instructions about how depositions are supposed to go. And he has a little bit of a speech ready. And unless this lawyer has sued Lindell for personal injuries, the idea that he's an ambulance chaser is a little suspect. I do not know what's going on in Mike Lindell's brain right now. He's turned up though.
Why did you call me an ambulance chaser?
Because you are. This is a frivolous case, and if you're representing this guy and you've read this case, you are a disgusting lawyer, period. That's my right to say. You want to sue me too, Mr. Ambulance Chaser? Are you working on contingency or consignment with the guy? What are you?
Okay, contingency is when you don't get paid unless you win. Consignment is when you take your old clothes to the store and you don't get paid until they sell. Lawyer doesn't appear on camera, but unless he's just sitting there in his underpants, I would not assume that he's being paid on consignment.
Let me explain a few more things to you. Mm-hmm. Have you given a deposition before like this?
I've given a ton of depositions.
Okay, so you understand the process somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
Okay. When I ask you a question, you need to do your best to respond to own questions.
You're going to arrest me? I'll say whatever I want, and if we have extra, that's due. There's no rule that says I can't give a full answer. So I'm telling you the rules. Have you ever been in a deposition where they can't stand who you are? Have you?
A lot more than you, sir.
Okay, good. Keep going.
This is so weird so far. It's not unusual for a deposition to be adversarial and for there to be some animosity between the lawyer and the witness. But this is peaking out here around 10 and a half or 11, and it's early on. I mean, if you look at the crawl, they're on the 13th page of the deposition, which is they're not far into it at all.
I want you to understand another thing.
What's that?
This case is pending in federal court
I don't
in Colorado.
care. What does that have to do with anything?
Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. There's a federal judge that's going to likely be reading and watching this deposition.
I don't care.
You understand that?
I don't care. She should have dismissed this a long time ago. Okay. She hasn't ruled on that. There's a problem. I got a problem with her too.
Okay. This dude is throwing Mike Lindell a bone. This is a layup. He's just saying, hey, man, before you show so much hatred, just remember that the person who's going to be ruling on the merits of this case is watching how you behave. He's trying to help him out here. It's not working.
The judge has practice standards on how...
No, the judge did not dismiss this case. We put in to get it dismissed, and she ruled an unfair ruling saying, well, go ahead and do discovery and waste all your time while I'm sitting there not doing nothing. That's what that judge is doing. So don't tell me what the judge is doing, and you just let me worry about the judge reading this, okay?
I just want you to understand that.
No, you just don't worry about me. You're not out for my benefit.
That's
okay?
true. That's true.
He's out for my benefit, not you. So you can don't worry if I say something that offends the judge, okay? You just let me worry about that. You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good.
Okay, so It's funny to me, but his lawyer hates it because, look, no matter what you as a party think of the case against you or how, if you're the plaintiff, how righteous your case is, whatever, the reason that cases exist and the reason that they don't immediately get settled is that reasonable people disagree. Reasonable people just disagree about stuff. And so behaving unreasonably on tape, acting irrationally can make a trier of fact, a judge or a jury think, wow, I don't see myself in this person. I don't identify with their mindset. That's problematic. It can turn people against you.
It's disgusting to our country that she couldn't make a ruling. Go ahead and do deposition. If it was some guy that didn't have money, you would put them under just in this garbage. Wasting my day, wasting my time. But think if it was someone on the street, don't you care about people? This is disgusting. This judge should have ruled a long time ago that you're yay or nay, frivolous or not, but she didn't.
I understand where old Mikey's coming from. Listen, the way to get a federal judge off the bench is to get them impeached by the House of Representatives in D.C. and then to have the Senate have a trial and then for them to get convicted by a majority of 2/3. In other words, it doesn't happen. So just because you're mad that the judge is taking too long just doesn't mean a thing. Look, this case it's important to Mike Lindell. It's important to the plaintiff here, but every case in front of the judge is important. It sounds like he just wants to get special treatment because he hasn't gotten the ruling that he wants. But that's the way court systems are, especially in federal court. Cases take time.
If Joe VP Box Guy says, you know what, Mr. Lindell, you shouldn't be out there talking about this and also selling this product at the same time. Maybe people could get confused.
What do you mean selling this product at the same time? I object to that dumb answer. What are you talking about?
Well,
I didn't go out there, melt down our machines and buy a pillow. I mean, what is wrong with you? Anything I do, that's the way because I'm so branded. It's like, you're branded as a frivolous lawyer. Anything you do, well, you'll be branded as that because that's all I know about you right now. So go.
Mike Lindell, look me in the eyes right now. I'm America's attorney. I am branded as America's attorney. When you see me, that is what you think of. Come on, Mike. Look, they're 99 pages into this deposition, and they skipped a long, long way ahead to get to where they're finally talking about the product at issue in the lawsuit. Woo, it sounded like, notwithstanding the fact that he's being crazy, that they covered some ground here, which is encouraging.
I don't know what you're saying. You're trying to associate that anything I say becomes part of my pillow. That's not true. You get all that.
Not sure, Mike.
Non-responsive.
No, but it's disgusting when you sit here. I'm branded as now election, not my pillow guy. It's the opposite.
Mike, we just got to slow it down.
So when the lawyer says objection non-responsive, what he's doing is he's saying, look, I asked you a question and you answered some other question or you made a speech. And the reason that he says objection non-responsive is so that if they get into a paper fight, meaning they're going to file a brief and they're going to attach the transcript of this deposition, if you've objected to the non-responsive question, then he can't use that as part of his sworn testimony. At least possibly he can't use it unless he overcomes a hurdle of a presumption that it is in fact not responsive. So the judge is going to have to, even before the judge listens to see if they agree with the substance of the testimony, determine if the things that Lindell says is in fact responsive to a question that was asked. It's a little bit of a finer point of the law, but the lawyer is correct to object to Lindell just saying things that are just straight up unhinged and not related to the question that was asked.
You don't remember my question, do you?
Yeah, the question is, do people know you as the My Pillow guy? I just gave my answer. No, they know me over here, this guy that's trying to save our country, but because of lawfare and dirty things that Eric Coomer did on that one day, which that's when I called him out, I can't go on my stage. I can't. My company has been hurt so bad because of people like this Eric Coomer, so bad. This guy, in tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars.
You don't remember my question, do you?
Right there,
show me
page
what you
36.
Yeah, using the company My Pillow to make that statement, right?
After the lawsuit, Mr. Twister, after I was sued, everything in here in your little lawsuit, other than that one little paragraph, everything I said came after he sued me. After Coomer served his papers.
We don't need to replow that, okay? I've heard you say that.
Well, then I'm just telling you. So that's what, using my pillow after, and it's a joke. It's shoving it back in you guys' face, going, "Oh, you think my pillow benefited from this? Give me a break." Talk to them employees that are trying to support their families. You guys are disgusting. What else you got? It's kind of a sad day for you, isn't it, to see how bad my pillow's sitting, and you're trying to make it look like this was some grand thing to make money. It's just sad.
There's a technique being employed by the lawyer here, and I want to explain it a little bit. Mike Lindell is clearly someone who is uncomfortable with silence. And so the lawyer is waiting, and he's not talking. He's letting Mike Lindell fill that silence with jib-jab. It's a great strategy. I've done it before. I've had lawyers do it on my clients. Some people can't handle the silence. But I can handle it.
This data we've been talking about, is it the same data that you procured from Patrick Byrne?
I didn't purchase anything from Patrick Burns ever. I've never dealt with Patrick Burns on anything, of purchasing any data. What are you talking about? Now, where did this come from? Now you're starting to be stupid. Now you're really asking some questions. Where did you even get that I purchased any data from Patrick Burns? This is the most out left field thing I ever heard. What did you want me to say? Oh, no, I didn't purchase it. I never purchased anything or got anything from Patrick Byrne ever. Just like your question in here, Mike's, in your little complaint, Mike's frivolous cyber symposium, this whole case is frivolous. You should be ashamed of yourself. But go ahead, finish your question on this and try not to talk about, get personal and badmouth my employees or my pillows or anything like that.
Mike,
go ahead.
Shut up.
I haven't said a single word about your employees. And I don't own one of your
You've attacked them. You attacked them. You were part of this. You're getting paid on consignment. You get paid if they get money.
Again,
from my
he did
employees.
not sell
Yes,
his
you have attacked
clothes.
them. You personally did this with Newsmax. You, and I called it right out, the criminal lawyers and Coomer, when you guys did this to me. And now you got your answer. You already knew the answer. You just was hoping there was more, I think. It sucks that you're not going to get all this money, huh? Do you feel it slipping away because you're all wrong and you realize you shouldn't have done this?
I cannot believe how unhinged he is. This is fantastic. I now know, by inference, I think, that this lawsuit is about where he had the cyber symposium and he offered a cash reward to anyone who could prove that the 2020 election was rigged. And that didn't turn out that well for him. But I think that he didn't pay the money that he was supposed to pay. I think that's right.
I had come prepared yesterday. And
Okay, they moved on from day 2. And let me tell you what's fascinating about this. In federal court, unless you have a court order that gives you more than 7 hours with a particular witness, the deposition can only last 7 hours. And it does not mean 7 hours on the clock. It's like saying a football game is 60 minutes. You and I know a football game lasts 3.5 hours, but it's 60 minutes on the clock. And depositions are the same way. Clearly, they went into day 2 and, they're just going to keep on pushing ahead.
And I'm going to seek taking you to court because of what you've done to my employees. Everything you said comes after you sued me. Everything I said. You're an evil, evil man. There, that's on the record. Very evil. What you've done to my employees, everything that you were going to say comes after you sued me. Everything I said, and I stand by what I said.
He's going to call him an ambulance chaser
lawyer,
again. There's no injury, though. I don't get it.
So you will be sued. Don't worry. And you will be sued big because I won't back down.
Okay, so what the lawyer was doing, he's making the exact same point that I was trying to make, which is I had certain questions I wanted to ask you, and you wouldn't let me get through them because you just kept grandstanding. And he does have to show clips of this to the judge in order to get an extension on that 7 hours of time, unless Lindell's attorney agrees to it. If I'm Lindell's attorney, I would, of course, agree to it because I don't want the judge seeing these clips of him acting like such a clown. But if I'm the lawyer for Mike Lindell, I got to take a look at myself. I got to think.
All right, anything else?
I got better things to do with my life. We're trying to save a country here, not you guys ambulance chasing lawyers trying to get money out people that had nothing to do with it. My employees, if I sat here and they sat here and looked at you guys, they'd say, how could people do this? How could anybody do this to anybody? And that's, and did I say, and you wonder why I said that? And I apologize for calling
he's just
your friend a
grandstanding
scumbag.
here.
But I'm so
This is
upset
not
when you did
responsive
not
to
me,
a
but
question.
my employees. What you did to my
And they're
employees,
2.5
why would you
hours
do that?
into day 2.
You know, I think what you did is horrible. We've done nothing. And you guys, and then you wonder why I sit here. How do you guys sleep at night? You obviously don't have a My Pillow. That's
Comedy generally takes a little bit of self-awareness to pull off. But if I'm not mistaken, Mike Lindell just told a joke with absolutely no self-awareness. And that is amazing. It's hard to do.
It's your belief that Mr. Kane and myself are criminals as well.
what you did is criminal. And not your criminals, but what you've done is criminal. What you're doing here today is criminal. Absolutely criminal. You're taking money you don't deserve. You're trying to attack people that have done nothing to you, and you're wasting my time with...
Man, Mike Lindell is one self-righteous dude. Wow. This is hard to watch.
When you attack somebody, a company that's never done anything to you, that's criminal. You too, it's criminal, guys. I can't get around it. What you did is terrible.
This is
it's evil,
wild.
It's terrible. It's wrong. And that's it. There's things in my life that are a lot more important than frivolous lawsuits. The only one, and I'm not blaming you for the frivolous other than when you put it up, because it should have been done 9 months ago. What the judge should have looked at this and said, I'm sorry. These guys, this is bizarre, and dumped it. And
I can't believe how he just keeps talking. Well, I think I've said plenty throughout this video, so I'm just gonna go jump right to your pro se opinion down below right now. Will you be purchasing a My Pillow? Based on this deposition, what do you think his chances are of winning his lawsuit? And if you think this deposition was bad, trust me, this one was way worse. So check it out. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.